Hope you enjoyed that little demo of this vintage Gibson guitar. This is a Gibson LC, which wasn't very easy to find out what this model was. Luckily, there's lots of kind people who archive and catalog all the Gibson models that have been made. So I was able to scroll through that website and finally found, match this cool fretboard. And like, there it is. That's the guitar. It's an LC. At the time, Gibson had been around for 100 years of making instruments. So they wanted to celebrate that by adding some of the cool things of the time and make a really awesome looking guitar. And they made a fantastic looking guitar. I mean, look at how cool this thing looks. The fretboard is made of perloid, which was like the fancy advancement of the time. But basically, you have a plastic fretboard on this guitar, which leads many to say it's not the best sounding guitar. Especially compared to other Gibsons at the time, because I mean, you have plastic fretboard, makes sense. But man, they made it look super cool. Check out got a nice sunburst. Got the sides here. The sides are maple, and there's a little bit of figuring there. But check out the back. Whoa, super nice figuring on the back of this guitar. So you really didn't spare a lot of expenses on this. There's vintage Gibson tuners. You got all the nice inlay on the headstock. But I wanted to know how old exactly was this guitar. With the LC, it put it in the 30s. So this guitar is definitely 1930 something, but I had such a tough time even just finding the serial number. Luckily, when I was able to check out that this was the LC and not like an L1 or anything like that, let me know the serial number should be on the neck joints. So I looked back in there. I had already looked and just found nothing. And I finally saw in this like nearly invisible red pencil 14. I was like, just 14? Gosh, this is an early whatever it is, one of the first ones to be made in that year. And of course, looking up like what were the serial numbers kind of like with these models. And there was a part where they just decided to start over again. So they start in 1931, and then in 1934, they're just like, let's just start over, count from one. I don't know. I don't really know a ton about Gibson stuff, so I can't explain like why they decided to start over again. But I was like, okay, this is either in 1934 or in 1931. So as you can tell from the thumbnail, I'm like, this is 31 because 90 is easier to say than 87. And it's far cooler to just be like, I played on a 90-year-old guitar. It's awesome. It's definitely the oldest guitar I've ever worked on. Got it set up back in playing condition. The biggest thing I had to do was the bridge was lifting off, and I did not want to put new strings on and bring it up to tension with a lifted bridge, because that would just cause way bigger issues than I would want to have happen. So I needed to re-glue the bridge down. So I got that done, and playing nice, not too bad. It's vintage guitar. I'm not trying to get this to play like a modern guitar, so the action is rather high, so it's not the easiest thing to play. But it's a lot of fun to just be playing on an extremely old Gibson guitar. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.